Welcome to the Golden Feather. Grab a pint, a plate, and pick your seats. Your hosts Vertek and Chibi Bree are back from their latest adventure.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. I'm behind the mountain.
Welcome back to another episode of the Golden Feather. We have finally returned.
Oh, I should probably put this little guy away. Let me just blink.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh, it's my face.
Had the thing on the head.
Yeah.
Your face. Yes, it's a you. It's a you. Oh my goodness.
Beautiful
But
face.
you're the biggest
Thank
on here.
you.
'Cause you're the star today. You're the star today.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for coming back on. It's been a while.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
very long time.
Speaking of a while, it's been about 3 weeks since we got here, and some of you were very worried about us, and I just want to say thank you for being worried about us.
Yes.
Do better at announcing everywhere with like pictures and stuff when we're going to be gone and when we're coming back so that you guys don't worry. But Jalon was very sweet from Paradox Gaming and ghost rated us a few times while we were on vacation.
Oh goodness.
So thank you so very much and welcome in everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you for the love
welcome.
you've been showing already.
And today, by the way, this is episode 146. Today is the 2nd of December 2022. It has been 3 weeks. Our last episode 145 was like forever ago. And we do have the VTubers now.
Yeah. I was fixing my antlers because they're cut off a little bit more still.
Oh no, I thought I got it.
Woo, 3 years wood chip. Wow, what
Holy
a milestone.
Wow.
Holy mackerel.
Very glad to have had you this entire time.
But so we have, for those who do not know her, we have the glorious and illustrious Zara with us of Guild Nexus. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys for having me once again. Hello, everybody from the AOC community. I'm sure some of you guys know me from the general and AOC discussion, but mostly guild chat. I am Zara. I am a long-term member from AOC way back from the Kickstarter. And I operate Guild Nexus, which is a PBX guild, and we are currently recruiting if you're interested. Thank you for putting the website there. But yeah, I am happy to be here. I'm happy there was a live stream today that we got to witness and that we can continue to talk about.
Oh my
Indeed.
goodness, there was such good fun things in there, weren't there?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Lots of great things. And then Steven trolling himself a little bit. But most importantly,
Never.
yeah. Most importantly, we got to see a little bit of cleric. That was really neat. And the respawn rate was kind of quick. I don't know how many times when I was working I heard, oh no, they respawned.
Oh yes,
yeah.
for the mobs, definitely.
Yeah.
You got to play a little bit of cleric back in Alpha 1, I believe, right, Chibi?
Yeah, a little bit. I was out tanking the tank for a moment.
Yes, cleric was quite powerful back in the day. But yeah, very good showcase to see where we're standing for Ashes of Creation. I can't wait to see the next class, but what do you guys think of what we saw so far?
I personally loved it. I am Ashes Nair, thank you. I would do a heart thing, but you can't see it. 16 months, wow, it's crazy. But I'm really excited. I'm interested as the road kind of put out there, how many different abilities they have for cleric. And I'm just, I don't know. I can't wait to get my hands on it. So Lexia,
Sure.
thank you. What are your thoughts, Vertek?
I can't think of anything really negative from the whole thing today, because the only thing that you could say, the fights being easy and there being a little bit of jitter, like when the wolves jumped, like that's all stuff they've admittedly said, hey, yeah, we know this and we're still working on it. Also,
Yeah.
work in progress.
Yeah, they did
But-
mention the balance for the mobs in the class as well.
Yeah. But I liked some of those skills. Especially the one, what was it? Chains of restraint. That's it. Chains of restraint. You know what you use chains for? Restraining. But yeah.
What do you
that one
think
is neat.
about the whip not being there anymore, Chibi? Or at least for this live stream.
You know?
You know, it's been a while since we've seen that in action.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it because the whip was a little interesting as a mechanic in the first place. So I'm interested in seeing like if they're going to be replacing that or if that's just not being showcased at this moment. And what the plans are behind it. But
yeah,
I think it was used for mana, like reconsumption or
siphoning, was it?
Yeah, mana siphoning, being able to increase your mana from being low, which is how I was able to help the tank once I figured that out. But yeah, I don't know. I'm interested in seeing like how these play together. Much like you, I'm interested in diving in and looking at all of the things behind each ability.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely for the cleric, I have to say that the abilities I would have liked to see in as you said before, the mobs were quite easy, but I would have liked to see a little bit of more competition from that golem to put up a bit of a fight to really test the cleric's abilities to keep his team up. But I'm sure that'll be balanced in the future for upcoming streams or any kind of content. Hopefully, maybe even PvP, like a siege battle or something would be nice to showcase that, or just an arena battle.
Yeah, definitely. I like how they're just sitting on the stairs in the video.
Yes. I mean, that's the best part about these MMOs is there's always going to be this time of building up and getting ready to go back and fight. But it's just appreciating the world around you, and it's very immersive. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, like someone said, wasn't able to catch it right in time, but someone was saying, let's see, night and day from Alpha 1.
Yeah.
Absolutely agreed. And they're not even ready for Alpha 2, so.
Yeah.
I love the fog that's going over the stairs right now. Yeah, it's just a nice ambiance.
Yeah, that was one of the first things I noticed was the fog rolling out. Because it was nice and low to the ground and dense. You could see it was there, but it wasn't like annoying. Like some games have annoying fog that jumps up all over your character, covers like the entire screen. Yeah. Because it's just like a filter they put over the whole world or something.
Yeah, and I like that this is subtle and it adds really nicely. But I heard also that sorry, I forgot where I was going with that for a second. I got distracted by the spin to win on the screen. I'm like watching them fight and I'm oh my gosh. But I've heard also of like games that just they try to add that kind of stuff, but it just it becomes overbearing, or it as Vertex said, blocks your perspective or your view of things, and it's not very fun. The only time I really like that is in World of Warcraft when you're drinking too much and then the screen goes all like wobbly. That's the only time I like it, because at the end of the day it's supposed to be what you see, and you're from a third party perspective, but still, I don't know. Yeah, the environmental diversity is very nice, especially with weather in general, and just locations and tundra and different kind of terrains. They do an excellent job at incorporating reality into that, because I remember quite some time ago they were talking about like rocks off of the coast and how they're inspired by obviously real life, and to replicate that, and it looks quite well because it all looks natural. It doesn't look out of place or choppy to that degree, whereas some MMOs look a little what's the word, like
created by a human, not something that was natural.
Yeah.
Obviously this was created by a human, but it still comes off as if it was meant to be there to begin with.
Yeah, I agree. They have so much attention to detail. I mean, the day to night cycle even, and the fact that there's constellations. I like that. I don't know if it's one of those things like if you spot the constellation, that's when the lines connect each other, or what was going on with that, but it was really neat to see it.
It might be like a time-based thing, like it appears every so often, and you just have to catch it. But I'm a huge Skyrim fan, so I love to mod my Skyrim, and a lot of the mods that you see in Skyrim are night sky mods. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate how they did that because I'm a huge fan of that. It's just appearance-wise, it was very appealing. And the 3 moons look fantastic, one of them being, exploded, I think?
Yeah.
One of them looks like it was nuked from the inside out.
Yeah.
Pretty neat,
makes me want to know more about the lore behind that. Perhaps some of the old gods had something to do with that. You never know.
My question to chat is, what was your favorite thing about the live stream, or from what you've seen so far for those of you that haven't been able to catch it yet? Skybox is already one of the better that I've seen. Yeah. I think it's really neat, and I like how Stephen prepared everybody by saying, hey, the trees are about to shake a lot. we're speeding up time.
Yeah, the skybox is pretty impressive. I like how the constellations lit up. I'm just curious if that was a default thing, or if that's item based or skill based, or like story progression wise, or what?
Or racial even, because we were talking about this during, or in the Discord during the stream, exactly, for the Vec, because they are seers, right, to a degree. So it would be interesting if it was racial based. Obviously, I would be jealous if I was rolling any other class or race. I want to see constellations too. But I think that it probably is inclusive to everybody, hopefully, because that would just be a big part of the game you'd be missing out on, or at least appearance-wise.
Yeah, and I mean that is a good point. He is playing a Vec in this video, and the Vec started off very bug-eyed.
Yes.
But they're the ones that pay attention and are the oracles, which is why I was planning on playing a Vec oracle at some point, just for lore reasons. But yeah, even what Alexia just said, just to go off of the fact that they're fighting, the mobs emerging from the environment is definitely a really cool environment to see, or effect to see.
Yes, I've played Dark and Darker recently. I'm not sure how many people know that, but there's similar mobs in that game that emerge from the ground, and I thought it was very nice because it's very fitting, like mummies and zombies just coming out of nowhere to surprise you, especially if you're a new player just exploring this area. Obviously you probably don't know that there's a huge ass golem at the end, pardon my French, but you're exploring and you're killing these mobs, and then all of a sudden 5 mobs spawn around you, and it's up to you to deal with them or run away. It's a tactical retreat, not running away.
Yeah, exactly. And I really do love a lot of the games are going open world.
Yes, very much so.
Vertek, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
Oh yeah, I was gonna touch on the Vec and constellation thing.
Yeah, so definitely, Mr. Vec man.
That hypes me up if it's gonna be a racial. For 2,
oh yeah,
can you imagine what the other races are gonna get, and how much? Is there going to be one that's going to be envied above the others, or are they all going to have something really cool?
I'm just saying, if you get to see constellations as a pirate, I would like to be able to talk to animals.
There you go. Like the animals just kind of whisper stuff to you as you run through the woods.
Yeah.
I think it would be interesting as a quest line, like a main quest line. One of your objectives is to talk to a Vec for your quest, and a part of that would be he's seeing into the constellations, and you can see it in the sky as he's illuminating it for you or something, and he's like, oh, the gods are coming, the old gods from the void, they're coming, you see them in the stars. I think that would be really cool to bring those constellations into the actual lore and make it, a part of the quest line.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Theater Tealf was just saying, or talk to plants. And so like having a quest like that, like what if as a pirate you could talk to animals or plants, and that would help with animal husbandry or farming potentially.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe who's the one of knowledge? Is it the
knowledge?
Yeah.
The elves, one of the elven races.
Okay.
It's not the pirate, is it?
No,
That's
I forgot what the other one
woodland.
was called.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're the woodland ones.
Empyrean
elves. Yeah. Empyrean. Yeah. But what if they would be able to read like ancient languages or something?
That would be quite interesting. Like scribes, but like on another level.
Yeah. I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah. And then Valen can just talk money, and that's all that's needed to know about it.
There you go.
Maybe their racial is earning a little extra coin, like a small extra percentage. I don't know.
They talk to money.
Yeah.
They talk to money.
The tradespeople.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was lots of gaming and, rest and relaxation, especially as we come to the end of the year. Also, I just wanted to say thank you guys for the level 2 hype train. Super appreciate that. You guys are amazing.
What a fantastic welcome back.
Yeah, definitely. We've missed you guys.
But he showcased the block there for the cleric. I'm pretty sure his staff went diagonally. I think that's what he was talking about for the blocking ability. I thought that was an interesting point to make. I've heard some people talk about wanting the blocking to be only for tank classes. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, my thought personally is cleric is already meant to be more of a tankier class. As you see, they wear heavy armor and things like that. So it makes sense that something that wears heavy armor, like a paladin or in this case, cleric, they, in my opinion, should be able to kind of use their weapon to block. I don't know how well that's going to work with maybe a bow or a staff, though. So I wonder if it might be weapon dependent.
Yeah, I think it's good that all classes can do some form of block. I just think tanks should be more effective at it, or can do it for longer, or maybe both, even for that matter, because they're kind of practiced
talking
in
about stamina. Yeah.
Like anybody
exactly.
can throw something up in front of them to block something else, and it just may not do as well, or they may get beaten back pretty easily, and they can only do it once. But yet a tank could block like 3 or 4 attacks in a row before needing to get back in the action.
Yeah.
If they could find a way to balance that, that would be interesting. Obviously, like a mage with a spell book shouldn't be able to block necessarily because they have a lot of other resources. I mean, you could just throw the book at them, right? That would be very efficient.
Yeah, right. Scholar, take this.
Wizzy, thank you for the 17 months resub.
Wizzy says, missed you guys. Never leave us again, Dias.
Never leave again. We're never going to leave you again. Except for maybe again later this month for another family visit.
I think we're going to do better with making at least a little video to put out for you guys. Like, hey, happy holidays from us,
Yeah,
we'll be back on this day. Yeah, we'll try to do something.
Yeah, Ashes and JROC make a great point about the blocking.
It's the holidays. We don't leave any other time. But yeah,
actually,
sorry, you were saying.
How cool would it be with the mage though? How cool would it be if they did like a almost like you see in some games where they have like a magic dome like appear in front of them
like
to
a
block
mage
real
armor?
quick? Yeah, like just a puff of magic that goes boom. Boom.
That sounds like a Star Wars. Boom.
Everything should sound like Star Wars.
See, right there is my favorite part about this live stream, him sitting on the pole. I thought that was so cool, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, like, games like, I think BDO incorporate parkour to that extent as well, if I'm correct. And it's nice to be able to elevate around the world that they, like, devs build for you. It's not just a linear progression through the world. You can operate however you want.
Yeah,
and I really do appreciate that.
And I really do like the realisticness of that compared to other games where you can't do anything really. And people always try to, like, I'm playing Pokemon currently, and I always try to climb like whatever I can to get up to a higher place.
Yeah.
So But yeah, Meat Hooks, I don't know if this is already pointed at, but Meat Hook said it would be cool to have sort of flashes of light type of shielding for cleric blocks.
And especially because it's only from based off of what Ashes and Narrow said, 50% mitigation. So you still do take damage, which is, in my opinion, reasonable, right? I think that it shouldn't be invincibility. Otherwise, you would just be playing a tank. So if they could balance that, that would be great. But I do think that some form of block should depend obviously on like your weapon and like what, you know, class you're playing and how your gear is, as JRC said. But yeah, definitely. Also about those leveraging those spots where he was sitting on the pole, I thought immediately of PvP interactions about camping a spot and waiting for people to come in.
Oh, absolutely.
You could scale anything essentially and just get the high ground on them.
Yeah. Also, as a yes, this terrain is a breath of fresh air. Nair, Zara's been on our stream a few times with her lovely face active as well, but she's also the guild leader of Nexus, and that is the guild that we are a part of.
Yes.
Hakuna
Matata.
Hakuna Matata. Mihawk says they seem to be taking a lot of pages from Guild Wars 2 combat, which I know you play, Tech. And I honestly think that could be great.
I dig it. I'm kind of a fan of Guild Wars 2 combat when it comes to just how it works and functions in a general basis.
Yeah.
I do think the mobility in Guild Wars 2 is a lot more fluid than what we're seeing. Obviously, Ashes is still quite far from anywhere close to Guild Wars 2 combat finalization, but I would like to see more mobility from clerics specifically. Like I have played Terra for maybe like 3 or 4 years back in the day, and I main cleric and like mystic, and the movability in those classes, the being able to kite enemies in PvP, because obviously you're quite fleshy as a cleric or a mystic. So it's imperative that you can mobilize yourself to get to an advantage, right? Especially when you have to heal people in dungeons. So I would like to see a bit more of that for the cleric and other archetypes that in case, you know, healing or support.
Yeah. Ooh, World v. World. Yeah. I'm actually excited, honestly, for more group PvP stuff. Now that I've gotten a taste with you guys, I enjoyed that so much more than I thought I would.
You were kicking ass in Elion, I'm saying.
I had so fun. Like, I actually had people to play with. It was a whole other thing, and that was, I think, the big thing that changed for me, because I was very adamantly against PvP to now I'm like, you know what? I'm at least open to group PvP. Maybe not solos yet, but you know, maybe practice with the guild a bit, and then we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, especially siege content would be quite, you know, profitable for a healing character to test out if they're comfortable with PvP or not, because then you're put in essentially the front line with your guildies, and now you really gotta test your abilities as a player.
Yeah,
to see if
exactly.
you can keep these guys alive, you know?
Yeah.
I dig it. But yeah, I think I'm pretty much a fan of every class having some form of mobility sitting around, like at least one little skill.
Yeah. Sorry, we have a question for Nexus.
Yerd. So we played New World at the very beginning when it came out. It was not for us, unfortunately. I was a big time follower back when the alpha stages came out, and I played that quite a lot whenever I got the opportunity. I'm a huge PvP addict, right? So that was the major disappointment for me, is not being in love with the PvP. And but New World right now, I've heard is a decent PvE game lacking endgame content, but you know, it's not the MMO that I would like to spend time in. For the future upcoming, we will be playing Throne and Liberty, which is supposedly going to be PvX, but primarily PvP. So that's very much so what we're leaning to. Yeah, thank you for the question. feel free to ask more, guys. I'm here till however long.
We specifically brought Zara on also to be able to answer more of the guild-specific questions that we may not have the answers to.
So, what's your opinion on? Go ahead. I have a question after.
On our website, if you want to check out the link above, we have a chapters page. These are a couple of the games we're playing, specifically MMO-wise. As I said, Throne and Liberty, in the near future, Throne and Liberty, maybe Arcage 2 coming out, in the Riot MMO RPG. There's not a lot going on currently, but we do have a group currently playing for Wrath of Lich King, doing, Nax raids, and we, are open to recruitment for that right now as well.
I will not get sucked in by Lich King.
I'm not going to do it. That is not me. So that's all of my our management operating that. But what was your question? Yeah.
I almost got sucked in by the Lich King. I stared at it a couple times. I think I even asked Chibi about that. Like, what do you think? Maybe because I love me some Lich King. I did.
I love it too. But I know that I'm gonna get into there and I'm gonna be upset. So I'm like, I'm not gonna do that to myself.
They're drawing you in.
Yeah, I'm like,
they
I'll go play Hogwarts Legacy. There you go. Prep for Lich King, but fell off before launch. Oh no.
Yeah,
Phelan, I get that.
Hogwarts Legacy does look quite interesting. I'll definitely be playing that as well.
And
I like Harry Potter.
I'm a Hufflepuff gang. So
I'm a Hufflepuff too. Yes.
Yeah, we're the feisty badgers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We eat snakes for dinner.
Nom nom nom. February 7th is when it comes out.
Ooh.
So definitely one I'm keeping my eye on, though. I've seen it pop up a few times.
Yeah, I keep popping up every time I take tests as a Ravenclaw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that makes sense. The Vec and then the Ravenclaw, it kind of suits each other.
Yeah.
I dig it. But the question I was going to have is, what's your personal opinion on Throne of Liberty and the Project E specifically?
So I haven't done much delving into the other projects coming up. Throne and Liberty, I was never able to get into Lineage, unfortunately. I think it was just a little bit too before my time. But Throne and Liberty, as far as the combat goes, I think due to Lost Ark coming out, the changes in perspective, bird's eye view versus how Ashes is, Throne and Liberty is adapted to that. And I think that'll be very interesting. But obviously with Korean MMOs, you have to be very aware of what's to come as far as pay to win and all that fun stuff. So, there's not much to really say besides it'll be a good 2 to 3 month experience for our community, and hopefully we can, take some names and kick ass, or the other way around.
Thank you.
I might check it out. I have actually not seen anything, so I have no opinion on Throne and Liberty at all. Yeah,
so it actually has some aspects of Ashes of Creation, I think, in it. As far as the sieges go, a very interesting video that we saw for PvP-based content for sieges, moving golems and whatnot.
Okay. So there was Tina looks rather playable. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited just to check things out in general. I mean, obviously we're all here for one thing, but while waiting, gotta check out
spending quite some time to get a MMO these days. That's not New World or World of Warcraft.
Gotta get that MMO fix.
Yeah, hopefully for these upcoming 3 or 4 years, there will be a lot of MMO drops.
Yeah.
Definitely, and Ashes will be a lot closer to being finalized, which will be kind of insane to look into the past and see how far we've come,
Yeah. I honestly, I don't know. There's a lot. 2023 to 2024 seems like a good year for MMOs. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of development that has to go through first, so we got to wait for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
but I mean, we of all people should know that following this.
Yeah, 5 years now.
Right? But I think we should be excited to see how quickly they've been going through stuff, you know, and how much more updates we're getting.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would look cosplaying as Hagrid, you guys.
What's the next thing that you guys are excited to see for Ashes besides a class reveal?
Honestly, I was just waiting for a different biome, and I was given that surprisingly.
True, very
For
true.
this one.
Crafting. What kind of crafting in particular?
I know for me, there's so much stuff. It's hard to really pin anything down. I guess the next big thing, I can't wait to see is going to be experiencing or at least seeing a good solid showcase like that 40-minute thing, 40-minute video or so, 40 minutes to an hour video of them doing the secondary archetype.
Yeah.
And how it impacts the primary and really showing it in action. Instead of just talking about it, saying, hey, this is how you do this, and this is how this would work, and this is how that would impact it. And these are the options you have for choosing how it impacts all your base skills.
Personally, I am still waiting for Notes 3, but that's...
Notes 3? I knew you were going to say that.
Yes.
I'm honestly just, I don't know, character creation? When?
Yeah.
I thought it was really close back in April.
It looks really good, right? I really like the way they're going with it. I was honestly surprised with how fast we got a showcase from it. Oh, Z, what's up? Or is it Z?
Z-E-E-E. Is Zara the Z account? No, Zara and Z are two different people. We love them both.
I thought that was Z on a different account. No, we're different people. Z's great though.
Z is the one from across the pond that hates pizza.
Quite across the pond, yeah.
Do you hate pizza, Zara?
Oh my gosh, I love pizza.
Z can't be the same person at all.
Yeah.
Can't be the same person.
Unless I'm lying. You've never seen us in the same room at once.
What better way to set yourself apart?
Yeah,
than
they are.
The love and hate of pizza.
Yep, there you go. It clearly can't be Z. She loves pizza. But yeah, no, I honestly cannot wait to see people just spending hours and making their own characters and seeing people share their characters that they made. I'm excited. But Nara says, well, actually, to back up, Wizzy says, I'm going to lose my mind if they don't share freeholds with us and how skins are applied. They keep selling them, but we have no idea how they work. And I absolutely understand that frustration. And Nara says, I seriously hate how they won't commit to telling us about the freehold building these skins. And I wonder if it's because they're not ready to share how that works, or they're like...
I mean, we have a base knowledge of it, and that's about it. I'd say, as far as we know, it's once you acquire your freehold through hard work and labor, you can apply the skin just like any other cosmetic that you're wearing, even like your mounts, and then you can, if a siege happens, you can reclaim that skin and take it back. But beyond that, I don't think there's much more we know about that.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing how it works, but I wonder if they need a few systems to be completed first before being able to kind of explain it. Yeah,
I think definitely with nodes being the first system to get in place before they tackle freeholds, as far as, that goes. But nodes definitely need more development and time to be presented before people, get involved in the other things that correlate to nodes.
Yeah. To answer your question, I will say I agree with that initially. However, it's all good. However, by the end of A2, those need to be in it, as the end of Alpha 2, must include everything before going into Beta. But at least initially, I could see that potentially being the case. However, there was already castle sieges happening previously. So, hey, Meatloaf, how are you?
And my favorite theory that somebody mentioned here in chat before is that they'll be going through, when it comes to A2, they'll be doing like phase testing, like turning off a bunch of systems and focusing on one. They'll turn that on and say, hey, this week we're testing this one. and then they'll shut it down. They'll do some iteration on it and bring up a different one and say, hey, this week we're working on that, and kind of let the teams kind of rotate through. Somebody mentioned that in chat, and it just makes too much sense for them to not do something like that.
Since we're all Phoenix Initiative too, it'd be nice to get involved in some of the live stream videos that they have going on, maybe like a custom siege, or like us trying out classes or mechanics for the live stream would be nice as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be absolutely fantastic.
And there was mention earlier about 5.1 for UE.
Yes, I did see that as well. Very exciting stuff.
Yes.
With nanite and reflections and lighting. Very good stuff that I know absolutely nothing about.
Yeah, right.
I need it explained in baby terms because I have a baby mind, apparently.
I have not actually looked into 5.1 yet, so
it's very, very, like, I saw it and I never react like shocked to anything, but it was like the way it makes things easier is something that surprised me, because I mentioned before I mod my Skyrim, and a big part of Skyrim is modding trees, because the whole place is like a forest, right? So LODs and stuff like that, logs, I don't know how you pronounce that, but I had to figure out billboards and logs and stuff like that to mod my Skyrim, and I'm like, I have no clue what I'm doing, I'm just going to follow a guide. So now that it's easier, so from a distance, essentially, instead of the trees being 2D, they're 3D, because they want to initially save, what is it called? The server from lag or something, I don't know. Somebody would know better than me, but it makes it easier for the developers. And it brings up a good question about ashes and how much time has been saved in development from switching to Unreal Engine 4 in general.
5, yeah.
Yeah, see, and I don't know too much about it. Like the difference between 5 and 5.1, I haven't really looked into it, but everyone's really excited about it, so I'm gonna be excited too and go, yeah, yeah. I can't believe that they're doing it, but they are, and that's amazing. But honestly, any upgrades that are gonna do stuff that's awesome is awesome.
I do think that, especially for ashes, it's important that they try to minimize as much time without obviously, scrapping things or ruining the game, but minimize as much time for development as they can, and efficiency would be great. So I'm hoping that 5.1 definitely helps them with that.
Yeah, sorry.
Be cute. Yeah, you guys are cute. Peeking around the corner, I see you.
Super adorable. Love it. Someone did it earlier and they're peeking in from the top, just upside down. But basically, J-Rock says 5.1 is an upgrade in machine learning. So instead of having to do all of the math that is necessary to build out all the trees, and then with it, the 2D asset, the AI does all the math and populates in real time.
See, I need JROC to answer like all questions ever for me from now on, because that was a very good explanation I could have not provided.
Yeah. Hi. Hurikan says, yes, today's cleric showcase showed the dire need for Unreal Engine 5.1. There are many 2D trees clipping in the zoomed out camera view. Yeah. Also, that weird bloom on mount at the start of the cleric showcase is awful.
I'd have to see that again to remind myself of what the...
Yeah, me too, honestly. Wizzy says, the fact I haven't seen today's live stream yet and seeing the video with no sound is rough. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. He says, Leroy Jenkins! And that's all you need to know.
Oh.
And, oh God, they're zombies.
Yes.
Yeah. Yurt is asking, what is a bloom?
I think bloom is the lighting effect on the mount is what they're talking about. I'm not too sure though.
As I understand it, bloom is like when the light kind of glows off of something in interesting ways. Yeah, that bright light on the white mount.
At least it doesn't look like the Star Wars edition of APOC back in the day, where every sword was illuminated and glowing and everything was a lightsaber. It looked quite interesting.
Oh my gosh, yes. But it's all right. That stuff's gonna be really cool if they keep it to be something limited. It's gonna show off the weapons really well. Just not when everybody has one.
Yeah. Exactly.
And a nice skin. Or yeah.
But with the storyline being, you know, those were all light packed people back in the day when in the Age of Legends, and that makes sense that everything would be glowing and awesome and, you know, fantastic.
Yeah.
So about that cleric ability, sorry, there's that beam of vertical light that comes down. I assume that is the judgment ability, because that's the one that can do damage and also heal yourself, correct?
Yeah. Based on the target, it was like a big single target heal.
Yeah. The visual effects on that have improved quite a bit, because I feel like that was in the initial game for some reason, or initial Alpha 1. I don't know why I think that, but there's some sort of rendition of it. But I love the quality change in the lighting for the skills, because before it was like everything is neon and bright and loud, but now it's been reduced a bit and now it's not overwhelming.
That was literally going to be my question. What do you guys think of the skill effects at this point?
I think they're great. I like the skill effects on Chains of Restraint, like everything about it. And you opened up, that was the first move they did, and what the world was this? And that set me like staring at the bottom of the screen while he ran through looking for the names of the skills.
Yeah,
I couldn't figure out the fourth one, because there was Chains of Restraint, there was the Cleansing Wave, which was like the chain heal, the Judgment, but I missed the name of the fourth one. I gotta go back. It was like an hour 45 in, so I guess 45 minutes into the actual stream.
Yeah,
I marked down the time so I could go back and look at it, because that was the one time where I think he actually used it, and I recognized that it was the fourth skill being used. I missed it.
And Annie, are you planning on doing healing when you play? A1 effects were trying to break stuff. Yeah, that's fair. I have to test that back in somehow. Right, that's fair. But I'm just glad that they've toned down a bit. And yeah, the rainbow is really neat. And I don't know, it doesn't feel so jarring to see everything. Ranger Summit are very nice.
It doesn't have the FF14 vibe where everybody is deciding to be a nebula in the sky.
Yes. 15, it's communal restoration at 15 minutes on the YouTube video.
I agree with, how do you pronounce the name? Huracan? I agree with that extremely. I am not a person for a zoomed out camera. It's very, especially during PvP, I have to be a little bit closer just to see what's coming next. I don't know if that makes sense, but zoomed out doesn't really do it for me if I'm seeing too much. It takes away from what I should be focused on. Yeah, and what Meatloaf said is what they said in the live stream as well, is this is Steven's personal Raccoon. Oh, okay, thank you. That helps us as well. Yeah, I understand that too. Yeah, it's Steven's personal choice, and I'm actually happy that there's so many options, right? You know, to customize the UI from what they're talking about doing at least, but also just the limitation with the camera being zoomed out is extensive, and that's good for those who enjoy it. Yeah, I like it in raids, you know, being able to see things that are coming up upon you. But when I'm out in the world, I don't like being that far out personally. So it's really very much a use case thing. Yeah, there's also for PvP, you know, I'm very bad at PvP, so I might have it out initially until I can kind of get really good at it, but making sure nobody tries to sneak up on me. Yeah. Games such as Last Oasis, I've seen people PvP very zoomed out, and I'm like, how do you even know what you're blocking? I can't do it. Oh yeah, see, I like it really wide out. Then again, I do the tank thing mostly, so I'm always staring at a boss kneecaps, and if I don't have it zoomed out, I see nothing. I see nothing. Whereas my boss is the health bars, so. Yeah, so after standing as a tank for so long and having like needing to have it zoomed out, now I have to have it zoomed out no matter what I play. Communal restoration. Yeah, so what do you think? That's the fourth ability that you're talking about. What do you think that one does?
with that name. Yeah, communal restoration.
I would have to
Think it's
see
gonna
the
balance hit
video.
points?
I think hold on. I'd like to see. I don't know if this ability does that, but in Terra there was like a cleanse ability for when people are poisoned or there was some sort of dot on them. If it did something like that, that would be interesting. But I would have to rewatch the video to that timestamp. I'm actually gonna look it up real quick.
I agree
I'm
with
pulling it up
J-Rock
right
though.
quick for the stream too.
J-Rock said basically what I was thinking. I mean, communal means group or society, and then healing. So
Yeah, I gave him all
Group
750
heal with
health.
heal over time.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, agreed, Zalexia. I'm interested in seeing how the mob AI advances, you know. Can we see the combat?
Yeah, that looks quite good.
I just read that. Sorry, I moved up.
Yeah, I gave him all 150 hit points from what I saw.
Nice. There's some passive HP regen going on in that video. Even the zombies had it, so it's hard to tell which ability had HOTS. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Remember, he cast it and healed everybody with it. Yeah. So I'm excited. I can't wait to get my hands on it and play with it and look at the different abilities.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm definitely anticipating being able to do spot testing and other stuff whenever it's ready. And a lot of people, like, the common thing we get asked, you know, hey, when is Alpha 2? When is this? When is that?
Yeah.
And, you know, we don't have dates because they don't want to give out dates because they don't want to commit to a date that they're not sure of. So,
you guys heard about the AOC content creation program, right?
the official content.
I think that they came out with something recently, unless it was an old post, but they're reopening content creation. So I think you guys should definitely look into that.
Oh, I never realized it was closed because we never heard back about anything.
Yeah,
yeah, I know we applied back when they first announced that they were going to start collecting applications, but then they stopped collecting because they had so many and no way to really go through stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But ours was already in there, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely reach out to Maggie and see if we need to reapply or anything. But Nair asks, what do you think of the darkness of night? Or is that a point of discussion already? It's fine. I'm happy to go back to it. Because that was actually a question I think Steven had as well.
I think it was quite old. Sorry.
What?
For the content creator program, I looked it up and I got a tweet about it for some reason, but it was the old one.
Oh, okay. I don't know, I like the way it looks that night. Yeah.
I do
it's
think
cool.
that it's not too bright because it's there's no clouds in the sky. The moon is fully lit, so I think it does make sense.
Yeah.
And you can see the difference with the lightness of day and how much more bright that is compared to the night.
Yeah.
But I do think hopefully when there is variety in the weather, like a rainstorm with clouds and a thunderstorm, I definitely do expect it to be darker and more, accommodating to the weather system itself.
Yeah, I agree. And that beautiful night sky. Oof. I was like sitting there staring at it, like mesmerized just by the colors and patterns in the sky. But yeah, Steven kind of made a joke about not doing a very good job with playing Ranger. So they had someone else play Ranger.
Yeah,
I guess that's about the cleric showcase. I do wish that we could see more of a representation with just like a single golem to see the abilities better for sure. But like overall, like when you analyze the video better, you get to see a bit more of the abilities, which is nice. Because I never noticed that communal restoration until now.
Yeah, I also like I mean, again, kind of how subtle, right? Because that was subtle enough. Like you noticed that a button was clicked, but it wasn't very obvious what it looked like or what it was doing.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that because I don't want everything to be a flashy show.
True. It would be a skill to be able to read for PvP to be able to read exactly what the enemy is going to do, so you know how to counter that for sure.
Yeah.
Especially with the more subtle abilities.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think, because I was just, as you were talking, I was kind of clicking back and forth between day and night in the video, and I think the night stuff could use just a little bit more darkening, but only the tiniest little bit, just to give a definite, a definite difference between the two.
Yeah.
But it still looks decent though. I still wouldn't complain over it. It looks like most other MMOs at nighttime. So
yeah, that's true.
There.
And in the Throne and Liberty trailer, it gives a good example of what nighttime does look like. I don't know if you guys, I don't think you've seen the trailer, but for those of you who have, there's a part where they're PvPing at nighttime, and that looks quite good because for the rogue friends out there, I'm sure they'd like to participate in nighttime PvP, stealing things, killing people, or whatever you're interested in, would like to take advantage of the darkness for their stealth abilities.
Yeah.
Ooh, and Overthrow says, I like that the Judgment Heal was quick and subtle, and the Chains of Restraint was very flashy. So if you're PvPing, better move quick or else you get chained.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually going to read that too.
Yeah, I actually definitely like the fact that there was a double effect to that as well. Like if they're, it does the stagger, but if they're already staggered, it stuns.
Yeah. I think that's pretty neat. It shows a good reusability of an ability. Reusability of an ability. But I kind of like that because there's many times where, a lot of the abilities are like hit once and then, there's no real reason to use them again right after. So having that second thing is neat.
Make comboing with other classes quite useful, especially if they have like main CC abilities like that,
Yeah.
For the ability that they mentioned, Judgment Heal, or was it Chains of Restraint, I do think it would be quite interesting to see the differences in mobs versus players interacting with an ability such as that, because in a lot of the games that I've played, if you apply an ability like that to a mob, they stay locked for quite some time, whereas players will do everything to evade and get out of that situation. Because if you see him using it in the stream, they're kind of in that circular area for a while, probably like 5 seconds at most. And usually in PvP, it takes quite less time to get out of a situation like that. So I'd like to see the quickness in, getting out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, he's standing there for quite some time, even though he is a zombie, to be fair. Zombies are quite slow, so we'll see. I'd like to see the comparisons in the future.
Yeah, I'm curious exactly what stagger does to somebody, because you could, in theory, start casting the chains, and then if a melee person is inside the chains with somebody they're PvPing and they see it coming up and they react quick enough, they could stagger somebody long enough to catch them inside of that.
Nair has a great question. Is that what you were just talking about? Sorry.
Let me see. The spin. If it was only spin to win. Okay, so Ashes of Nair says, did they specifically say if it was only the spin to win leading into the chains that gave the stun, or can the stagger from chains turn into stuns if the warrior spins to win after? There was
so I guess that's a combo question.
Yeah, like if the order matters or not. I don't think they specified the other direction. Only said that if somebody is already staggered and they get hit by Chains of Restraint, it becomes a stun.
So both essentially stagger, both abilities essentially stagger. So I don't think the combination necessarily matters. As the Chains of Restraint stagger as well.
Yeah, as Wolf of Gar says, staggering a staggered opponent grants stun.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, that's the part I didn't really catch.
Yeah, Overthrow says, I don't think they said it if the spin to win, spin afterwards would work, but it makes sense it would only work if the cleric casted second since the cleric is looking after the party.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, Meat Hooks. I do like the ability appearances on the class we're seeing there, but I think that's tank, not fighter, so I might be getting it confused. Unless that's fighter, I can't recall.
Probably a clip that would determine.
I think that's fighter. I might be getting it confused.
Yeah. If you watch the bridge part of the video, Steven staggers first and the fighter spins, but it does not stun. Interesting.
Right. Let's check that out. Let's see if I can find the bridge part of the video. You're talking about the bridge part where they were fighting against all the zombies?
Yeah. Do you mind taking off the part that's like has what Ashes and Air said on it, because it covers up a good portion of the video. After you scrub to this spot. Thank you.
Maybe this is the part of the video here.
Looking for the hammer. Oh, there's a spin to win. There's the hammer.
Okay.
Maybe when they run back across?
Yeah, I don't think that's it.
It was a quick run across, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, near river. Well, for the moment. Fighter archetype, however, he said that the fighter was playing the tank role for the party. I thought... Yeah, exactly. Okay. So yeah, the fighter was playing the role of tank for this. I guess showcasing that you don't have to be, I don't know, tank to do it. Yeah, a Wolf of Gar is asking for a timestamp, so you might be getting a timestamp soon.
Yeah, here's hoping that'd be something nifty to see, just to verify.
Yeah. We like breaking down these moves with you guys too. This is something that we do within our own guild sometimes. Just sit there and analyze like the live stream.
Yeah.
So. Plus it's fun, you know. We want to know what the abilities are capable of, but also this is pre-alpha too, so anything could change between now and then. It may not work perfectly as expected, and that might be a bug that they may be fixing. Who knows? But it's always fun to sit down and try to come up with ideas, you know.
One thing I do like about the cleric showcase is knowing that the antithesis of cleric is like the undead, so them being able to counter the undead because of the cleric is quite nice. So like, you know, fire, water, you know, I don't know, other things that I can't think of because brain no worky, but I'd like to see what other classes can counter what exactly, you know.
Yeah. Real quick, guys, is there any music for you?
Who? Oh, this song is really quiet. This song is really
Okay.
quiet. Let me just skip this song.
Gotta go get ready. Nope. Okay, gotta go ready for upcoming stream. See you soon. See ya. Fun Vertec, the wasting explains stagger. It basically nerfs physical attack based characters. Only basic attacks and spells can be cast while staggered. Interesting. Yeah, 33 minutes. You can see the scholar is still casting. So that's why Nair is talking about being able to cast, but maybe not do physical attacks.
Okay, so it was right before that.
33:04. Yeah.
We're coming up in like 10 seconds.
Yeah. All in all, seeing multiple races, archetype, adventuring in the world, interacting with the world, and monsters in UE5 was a shot of confidence for a lot of people, I believe. Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, we've been seeing some UE5 content this year. Like ever since they moved over from the beginning of the year, they've been showing off a lot of UE stuff. But I think it's been. I mean. Oh, if I went back from 2017 when I first fell in love with the game and I were to pull photos and video from then to showcase side by side.
Yeah.
Like, I fell in love with the game's, like, the way it looked in general then, and to see how far it's come now, like, it's crazy.
Improvement, yeah.
It feels like a whole other game just by looking at it.
It does. It does.
Do you guys
Honestly.
remember the mage video from way back when?
Yeah.
With the dead
red
face?
dress.
Yeah.
Yes, the dead face. Great times.
I honestly hope they recreate something like that. I know they decided to not go with some of those abilities, but I would love to see what that similar look would be like.
Yeah.
But with the current everything,
I did
especially that
ask,
outfit.
For one of their AMA, I decided to, I think I deleted my question, but it was like, can we see a recreation of the mage video or Art of War video in the current, Ash's style with improved animations, etc.? That would be nice eventually if we could get to a point like that.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of us are wondering what that would look like then versus now comparatively. I kind of want to see what that dress looks like with the new updates to everything too.
Yeah.
The new
Do you think it was a custom
even.
dress?
I don't know. It's a good question.
What were you saying, Berta?
I was saying just especially with the newer cloth physics too. They've kind of gotten that a lot better.
I would also like to see the character creation in play for new trailers, so it's not just the same face presets and stuff like that. Because do you remember Steven had the Valoon with the ponytail?
Yeah.
The female. I think that face was in APOC as far as I'm aware. So I think that there's definitely room to start improving upon that once the character creator gets finished.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree on that. I don't know. There's so much that I'm just excited for.
Yeah, we could talk about some of the Q&A questions if you want.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, the ability to heal mobs. I'm sure Steven, he's definitely tried. But
Well, actually, how about first the question that they posed out? The sit emote? Like, should the sit emote help regenerate hit point mana faster? Or no?
That is a good question. I think that it takes you out of the engaging environment, which is a good thing. So you have to be smart about where you're sitting. You have to be conscious. Are there enemies nearby? Are there players nearby? Should I take this time to recoup my energy, or should I just keep going and hopefully find a better place? I think that it would be a good idea to build it over time. I do think that it should be a slower process, though. I don't think it should be quite fast. Otherwise it would be a little broken to some degree, because if I can loop somebody around the corner, right, and it takes me 5 to 10 seconds to immediately build up my stamina or mana from running away from somebody, it would be a little distasteful for PvP in general. It could be abused. But I definitely think that with balancing, it would be nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like it, but again, I came from, I think, World of Warcraft with the being able to sit down and eat. I liked the little eating animation of sitting and seeing the mana bar, the health bar increase. But I also agree with the balancing of how fast it's going, and depending on what you're eating, perhaps it's faster because it's more expensive food or more mana filled or etc. But I don't know, I kind of like it. I mean, you are in an open world literally for PvP. Anyone can come up and attack you, so there's definitely the idea of watching your surroundings as you do it, and being aware of either other players or whatnot, and not just sitting and then camping an area and then walking away.
Yeah, especially in dungeons specifically, with knowing how long dungeons will intend to be. There's going to be parts where maybe you don't have pots anymore. Maybe you're out of food, but you still want to keep going because you're almost at the end of that dungeon. But you need to take a break because not everything's recuperated yet. You can't get back into the fight quite yet. So having a campfire, sitting around and recuperating your energy would be very useful, in my opinion, as it's not the end game, or not end game, the end all be all of your fight in the dungeon. There's more to it that you can do.
Yeah.
See, I've always been a fan of you don't really regen much out of combat on its own. Just there's going to be a little bit of regen, but very little. But when you're legitimately taking a rest, like sitting down somewhere, you're going to regen a little bit faster. But sitting down and eating food or something like that would give even more regen.
Yeah. I kind of like it only with food or drink. But in general, I don't know, it might be kind of cool with a much slower pace, like you mentioned, but
accelerated by food or drink.
Yeah, definitely. And I pinned something because I didn't want to lose it, and I am having difficulty getting into the thing that Vertex been using. But I was asked if I play cleric. I do. I'm a cleric main. After seeing what I saw from today's live stream, do I want to play or do I want them to improve things more? Probably both. I mean, it's hard for me to say officially because, again, I'm looking at this through somebody else, and I don't know their play style. I don't know my play style comparatively. Thank you. But it's one of those things where I need to feel it physically myself to get a feeling of how I like it before I can truly answer if I think they should improve things or not. I think they have a great starting point from the way it looks and the way it feels like it looks, but I would like to know what it feels like firsthand.
That's a good answer. Yeah, it's hard to tell with just appearance because no matter, even like if it was phenomenal gameplay, you still don't know if it's your play style or what you enjoy until you actually try it.
Yeah, there's so many games I've seen where I was like, oh, that looks really cool. And then I get behind the character and I'm like, I hate this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never happened to me ever before, not in like every game at all.
Yeah, also that too overthrow is like I'd have to, that's actually, so my plan, and I don't know, maybe I'm giving tons of room for somebody else to steal my plans, but whatever, it's me, it's my play style. I plan for A2 to go through each archetype of cleric and do a primary cleric, secondary archetype of cleric, from cleric all the way through I don't know, cleric rogue, but then maybe also try out a few others ex-cleric and see what I feel like more. And that'll be kind of my main focus for A2 is feeling, I heard you like cleric. Yeah. I got some cleric for your cleric so you can cleric while you cleric. But
oh my gosh, that's gonna absolutely be a meme once people start actually being able to duel, like put that second archetype in. That's going to be a meme.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see how it feels. I know they're gonna feel different from each other, and I want to know. You know, I might give you guys updates as time goes through. Like as of right now, my preferred primary, secondary is etc. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited.
I want to judge them more.
Yeah.
Oh, loudy. But yeah, there's some decent questions in there. I know there are a couple that I completely missed because I was trying to write down somebody else's question and answer, and as I'm still typing, it's like the question was gone. Yeah. But one thing I did catch that was kind of interesting is there was the question about will there be special area buffs that can be used, like certain buffs in certain dungeons will last the entire dungeon. And they went on to basically say, Stephen went on to basically say, yeah, there's going to be stuff like that, but I don't think he was necessarily addressing like the go for a buff in one dungeon that's going to last the entire time, so much as the, yeah, there's going to be buffs that you're going to need for specific areas. But the thing that came out of that I liked was talking about there being room for 20 or 25 buffs available on the buff bar, and that bards will have stories, songs, and dances as buffs.
Yay. Toss a coin to your witcher.
Now the question is, what do you theorize would fall under would those be 3 separate categories of types of buffs, or do you think they're just going to be there for flavor? Like, would maybe dances be more physical based and stories are like caster based and songs are more like health based.
So are these things that we're anticipating you can spec into?
And see, exactly, there's so many questions come from that. Like,
yeah, so it depends, because if you can spec into them, it would be interesting to see if like the skill that you have, like that would be like having an archetype for an archetype, you know. It would be quite interesting to see how that plays out. Like dances would affect one skill differently than, you know, the next one would affect it differently. It would be a lot of work, is all I know, for them to do something like that.
Yeah, like overthrows, songs give you morale, dances increase your dexterity, etc. I think that'd be pretty cool, but yeah, I don't know how much that's gonna affect the dev time, or if that's something that's in line with their development plans. Interested in finding out though.
If there's say a bard, that might be their like three trees or three main categories of places you can put points. Like how you'd have a tree that's probably based around your shield or something, and damage mitigation for a tank, and then there's damage avoidance for a tank, and then there's just pure health and resistances for another set of things that they can spec into. And bards could spec into stories, songs, or dances based on if they wanted, you know, physical stuff or intel and wisdom based stuff or health stuff.
I think that would be quite interesting. I think it would be hard to keep up with. It would definitely, like, if you could tier each class by difficulty, bard would definitely be ranked as probably like the highest tier at that point, just because you have a lot to follow if you spec into one and you know, maybe you're not as into that, and then you have to learn the two others, and they're quite, you know, diverse. If you could unspec, that would be interesting. I'm pretty sure they said that you could do something like that, but I can't quite recall.
The I can't remember the exact quote for it, but Stephen basically said, I'm totally paraphrasing, but basically said that you'll be able to do multiple specs. You won't be able to change your primary. Secondary is, you know, they're still kind of talking about that, but when it came to speccing out your secondary, you'll be able to go to town and change up your spec while you're in town. And then you can go back out and about your business. You won't be able to do it in the field, but you can do it in town.
Yeah.
To give an opinion to Nara's question, or his or her response, I think that it would be I agree with the survival thing. Like, obviously not too dark to the point where it's unplayable and you don't want to do anything when it's nighttime, but like, you know, dark enough so that you could see like a caravan like in the distance with torches as people are walking through the night, you know, like the NPC mobs or something like that, you know.
Yeah. I personally don't really enjoy games that are too dark. Mainly because it does kind of freak me out. Like, I can't see anything, and it takes away a lot of enjoyment. But
should be time to play some horror games. Let's go.
Oh gosh.
Let's go.
Yeah, I don't do horror very well, so having something like that would definitely, I guess, put me off, because I'm not playing a horror game, so why should it be like a horror game?
Yeah, but people joke about it, but I have legitimately seen Chibi go, nope, not doing this anymore, and shut the game off.
Yeah,
I've done that a number of times. I can watch horror games, but the moment I start playing them, it's not working out.
This last Halloween season, I was trying a game, I think it's called like Amnesia something.
Dark Descent or something, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't quite remember which version, but I played it and then I got too scared with like the regular horror thing, and so I turned off the horror, and I still got scared just because of the jump scares, because it's still kind of horror, but like it's not like it's gonna attack you, but it's more like the story of it attacking you instead of like it randomly coming out and attacking you like the horror version. But no, I got to a certain point, not much further than the first time I was trying to play it, and I just was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not gonna do this anymore. I literally cried one of the times.
I think that an interesting aspect for seasonal events in Ashes, like Halloween, for example, would be like a blood moon or something.
Ooh,
and
like
enemies
a red
are
shadow.
Yeah, enemies in that area are buffed or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
That would be quite interesting.
I would like to see it dark enough though, going into a dungeon, because I'm aware that that's going to be dark, but like seeing some bioluminescence or like torch lighting along the walls or something, and not having it so dark that, I mean, because again, like if you have night vision and stuff like that, it shouldn't appear too dark to you, kind of thing. But yeah, specific situations, I'd be fine with it, but not being able to see much on my screen, I mean,
it should be accessible to people who have poor vision as well, who still want to play the game. It should be bright enough so that they can see, but dark enough so that it's still dark, you know?
Yeah, imagine a trick of Blood Moon casting multiple shadows, freaky.
That would be,
right?
I forgot there's 3 moons, yeah.
So that'd be cool.
That would be quite interesting.
No, they're not. They're not going to help me at all. Honestly, I was joking. I was like, it's December 2nd, and what did Steven give us? Zombies. But, yeah, no, this video looks great on YouTube. The video that we're playing here is from YouTube, by the way. So just in case you guys are wondering, it's already out there. They do a pretty good job of getting it up, and we've been lucky enough to get it in time for our shows every single time. But
yeah, but it's in 1080, but it's also not filling up an entire 1080 monitor. So it's already compressed from that, and then Twitch also doing more compression. It's
I do want to say also about compression and stuff, for that link for the website, if you're on mobile, that's not going to look good. It's not optimized for mobile yet. So just want to let you guys know if you're viewing this stream from your phone.
Side note, who do you have doing the website for you?
I did most of it by myself.
Oh, okay. Well, if you need help with mobile, that's literally my day job.
Oh my God. Wow. Thank you, Jimmy. I will definitely take you up on that offer.
No problem.
But yeah, it was a struggle to figure out WordPress on my own. And I had some help here and there, but we got through it. So I would definitely love to take you up on that offer. That would be great.
No problem. I'm interested in learning WordPress too, because my company uses Epi at the moment, and we're like trying to get off of that.
All I know is Hello World, and that's it.
In every tech demo ever when it comes to development.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello World.
But yeah, I wish Clark did damage to zombie undead creatures. I think that's the plan eventually. I think that might be the plan eventually, because it's supposed to be some sort of. I don't know. I didn't notice personally.
And you would have to see multiple perspectives to see what damage. I mean,
everybody else was doing.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to tell when
it'd be nice to see different colors.
Does more damage in general.
Like different colors to see whose damage is whose damage.
Yeah.
Like your damage will always be whatever, and then other people are like a generic class color, maybe.
Although technically, the cleric heal did do damage to the zombies and stuff.
Yes, true.
They did use it as a weapon.
Yeah, because I know that you have to kill things to heal for some of it. Website looks really good. You did a great job.
Gotta love me some lorem ipsum. Oh, thank you, JRC. Or is it J-Rock? Which do you prefer?
I always call them J-Rock, and I'm sorry if that's not what they want to be called. But I just kind of make up names. I'm sorry, you guys.
Yeah, J-Rock. Or J-Rock.
I just go for it. J-Money. Jay the Great.
It's not the, it's the.
That. Jay that great.
Jay that great.
But no, I also like it for those of you that RP, that you can play instruments, even that won't do anything specific in terms of buffing. It's still kind of nice. Like I remember all the people in Final Fantasy 14 that just sat around playing instruments for people.
Also Guild Wars 2, right? There's been multiple clans or guilds that I've seen in Guild Wars 2 just going around in towns just playing instruments. I thought it's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah, no, honestly, I just love it. Ooh. So here's a good question. Somebody says, will any skills have voiceovers while casting or using it? And the answer was yes, some spells will have incantations. So is that going to be a voiceover? Is that going to be a voiceover or is that going to be like text?
I think it's going to be a voiceover. And they're going to hire me as a voice actor to do it, obviously, because I'm the best voice actor ever. Okay, I'm just kidding. But it would definitely be nice to, because it's probably going to be like the same voice actor who does grunts and like, you know, when you're rolling and you make a noise and stuff like that, or when you get hit. So I assume it'll be some sort of thing like that where it's like, ugh. Avada Kedavra. I don't know. I don't have a better example.
Little like mumbly things.
Yeah.
That calls back to Call to the Lamb.
Oh yeah.
Hope we get to choose between a few voices. Yeah, same. I imagine they can change some of the pitch. Yeah.
Like Conan, you could pick desperate or like angry or something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What if this time speed up mechanic was something that went live, even if it's somewhat superficial to the actual world and other players?
Sorry, what was it? Like if the world sped up?
The speed up mechanic that Steven's been.
That would be quite interesting. I think other people can experience that too if they did speed up the world, right?
Yeah, actually, like pop a relic and turn it to nighttime. Interesting.
This is absolutely
that would be dope, yeah.
1,000% like throwing random stuff out there, but it just popped into mind because, you know, my brain does weird stuff sometimes. But how neat would it be, since Steven said that the gods take an active part in everything and they're constantly involved with all the different cultures and races and they all have their different theories and all that. What if one of the big culminations of things going on that leads up to like a big event before like the next release or what have you? What if you're actually fighting against all the corruption and everything, but certain things that the players can do can slow down the corruption by literally turning back the time by like a day?
That's dope. Also, if you think about that, if you want to add on to it, imagine you're getting ready to siege a node and you have everything ready and you're not sure if they have it ready or not, or you know they don't have it ready. So you speed forward the day instead, so there's less time for them to prepare. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, one thing to mention.
Neat to actually like bring enough tributes to like the goddess of creation, and she turns back the time by like a day. You can fight the corruption better.
Specifically, that would be quite. Oh my gosh, that would be so engaging for like quest line wise. You know, if you could do something like that.
Siege begins in 2 minutes. Raise the blood moon.
Exactly right. Raise the. Goes back a day, goes forward a day. Who knows? Siege is over, guys. Never happened to begin with. But for our server, if you guys are interested, we are going to be playing Conan Exiles on a private server. We have 20 slots now. If you guys are interested, I thought I might as well plug that. If you guys are looking for something to do, we have mods going on, and a member from another community named Chaotic is prepping some arena modes and stuff like that, if you guys are ever interested. But yeah, good talk.
I heard some good stuff about Conan Exiles. I never really got into it myself.
I mean, penis enlargement, that's about all.
Well,
hey,
yeah.
Everybody needs a little bit of that. Just saying.
Apparently. I don't know about everybody.
Nope, everybody. I'm convinced everybody.
Will there be multiple light levels tied to the day and night cycle? Types of lighting may be adjusted, but visibility will remain similar. I'm not sure what they meant by light level as far as that goes, like from dusk to dawn.
Yeah.
Like instead of it just going like here's the daylight and here's the night light, it'd be like a varying
actually
scaling.
Transition. Yeah.
Which I think is kind of what they were going for. I think that's kind of what happened in the video. Let me.
Yeah, it did happen, didn't it? I think, it was definitely more sped up, of course, but which begs the question also: how long is the day and night cycle in Ashes of Creation?
I think
that's so pretty.
Few hours.
Yeah, that would be quite nice. That
Yeah,
looks
you can
really
see
good.
it kind of turning more yellow, more orange, and then into like a bluish light for nighttime.
Yeah. And like a purplish for a second.
Yeah, that's what I interpreted it too, as overthrow.
Almost looks darker in like dusk. Like right before it hits nighttime, it's the darkest, and then it goes nighttime and the moons come out and it's like, and the light picks back up real quick.
It sounded like he was asking if a moon isn't in the sky on a certain night, then would that make it slightly darker?
Yeah, because there's 3 moons, right? So maybe all 3 of them are reflecting some sort of light.
I mean, it would have to be like, you know how like the solar system works and the sun reflecting the light? Because like, how do you reflect the light off of a shattered moon, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
If anything, like that, to me, that main light that he's on right now is the one reflecting the most.
Yeah, exactly. It seems
We got the good side of the we got the good side of the moon tonight. We're getting more light.
Right. But that one that's fractured there, that doesn't seem to be casting as much light. Excuse me, as much as it's like reflected the light there, maybe to like light up a little bit more itself.
Well, I just thought of the ultimate for like a Vec like racial thing. If they ever had a race ultimates, it would be like you could reach towards the constellations and get like some sort of buff or benefit from it. Like, I don't know. I thought that would be really interesting.
Yeah. I agree.
And yeah, overthrow exactly that sometimes. Like if the question's not simple and straightforward and has like a yes or no, but not easily confused, they can sometimes run with that. But yeah, see like this image right here, it doesn't feel like night. Like this is after the sun is set and gone. Like I could see it getting a little bit darker than that, but I'm not one of those that wants it to be pitch black out.
Yeah, I like that though, because it's enough to know that it's dark and have that dark ambiance without it being hard to see.
I think a good question about does the nighttime boost power of undead? I think it would be also interesting because the question or the answer was it depends on the time of day. I think it would be interesting if you could walk through the graveyard in like the daytime and like there's no zombies or no skinwalkers because it's not nighttime, you know, but when you go there at night, they're there and they drop like rare loot to an extent because you have to go at a specific time of day.
I think
areas
really
like that would be nice. Yeah.
And Neris says the destroyed moon. That looks like corruption red in the middle, right? It's not just molten core, I think.
I would have to. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, let me see if I can scoot to it here in the video to put it up
there. It is.
He turns so quickly.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
He zips right past it. There we go.
Where is it?
I don't know. Maybe
it's not that moon. This one. There we go. Okay, never mind. I was delayed.
Yeah, we're delayed.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a pink fire almost, not like molten, you know.
Enhance.
Yeah, enhance, zoom, enhance. Exactly. I honestly, like, my theory is that, like, there's got to be an obvious reason beside, like, a huge asteroid to why that's destroyed. When the gods are so powerful to create anything, they can also be able to destroy something, especially those who are trapped in the void. Maybe, like, their process of ridding the people of Zara back into the portals to get them out was, you know, destroying the moon or something. Maybe it was like a sacred moon that meant something to a race or something, and they destroyed it for that reason. I don't know.
It could cracked be it open anything. For the power juice inside.
Yeah. Moonflowers.
Hey, thank you for that. They took a photo and sent us a cropped, like close up cropped image of it. It's really neato, actually.
That's actually a very good picture.
Yeah,
it does look like a molten core in that zoom, because it looks like the other moons for sure, but definitely the insides of it.
Yeah.
It would be cool if it was like, I'm not going to spoil anything. I was going to say something in Rings of Power for the show.
No spoilers.
No spoilers, yeah.
maybe the moon is a prison. Ooh, I don't know.
I was going to say something like that. Well, it's not really a spoiler, I guess. It was kind of just like a theory. But like, imagine like one of the end bosses for like your quest line is one of the void gods are trapped in the moon, and they get released by cultists, because we got showcased on cultists today. It would be cool if they released him and he came to the planet, Vera, and it was your job to kill him or send him to where void gods go. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe, maybe the void was inside that moon. Maybe that's where the harbingers came from. The moon cracked and they fell from the sky that time.
Yeah, sorry, I was yawning.
It would be cool. So like if it is corruption that's inside that moon, that it would increase corruption faster if you like kill people. So like you get more corruption when the moon is like illuminated a certain way or something, like some sort of special world event would be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. The red is definitely at the center of the moon, but it just looks like a big harbinger hit it and exploded. Possibly. I'm interested in seeing what the lore behind it, and perhaps the Vec will be the one to uncover the lore.
True.
But there's a bunch of effects missing from that ruptured moon from how Steven talked about it. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the skyline is done, but it looks gorgeous the way it is already.
I think it would also be interesting to see as well if like asteroids would fall from the sky and land in certain areas randomly for like world events. So
that'd be neat.
Decrease a node randomly. I don't know. It would be kind of distasteful for some people to get their level 4 node decreased to level 3 if just a random asteroid hit it. But it would be interesting if like it fell from the sky into like a patch of grassy land and monsters spawned from it, or like some sort of ancient relic spawned, and you're just traveling one day and you stumble upon an asteroid, and the barrier of it is like a great sword or like a relic or something powerful. Would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
So many things
something happened to our freehold last night.
The kitchen.
I love it. Imagine solving it.
Hopefully the node pays for that, because with your node tax, you better have insurance.
Oh my gosh, little like ashes ads. Make sure to pay your taxes if you want insurance on your freehold.
Just saying, asteroid protection is a basic human right, okay?
Imagine solving all the sky Easter eggs and getting a hidden quest. Ooh. You did get asteroid insurance, right? But
that would be cool to get a hidden quest like that.
Yeah.
Boy, but yeah, so many fun things, so many interesting stuffs to talk about, so many questions left unanswered, and so many answers left unquestioned, or something like that. But either way, I think we should probably start wrapping up here. I know it's just about dinner time here. I'm not sure when the last time you ate, Zara.
Yes, I am hungry.
Ooh. Well, just so you know, I'm not sure if you've been around, stopped in since we've started doing some changes, but we do a post-podcast show now. We usually take about a 15-20 minute break and then come back. You're more than welcome to hang out with us for that as well. If not, it's
Ashlack.
Cool. We've kept you for Ashlack. That's fantastic.
I will probably be heading off for the night, guys. So I had a great time, honestly, and it was so nice to revitalize the relationship we have with TGF. Like I'm more than excited to come back onto the stream again for sure. And hopefully in time I'll get a VTuber of also I want a Vec 2 or a Pirate. I want a Pirate.
Just saying, we know a guy.
To be fair, final question I have is racial skin tones, because I like the sound of Pirate, right? But I want to be like, a dark elf Pirate, right? I want to like blue skin. Do you think that would be possible for them to incorporate, or would they have a limited scale of like skin tones based off of the racial preference?
Interesting.
That's a really good question. I would think they would unlock it a decent amount.
Yeah, right?
They're going to have dark elves in mind at some point. Someone's going to raise that.
I could see like a dark elf, but I'm not sure about like colored elves necessarily, unless it aligns with the
I mean, like a bright pink elf would be kind of weird, but maybe I don't know if they would end up having like hex colors in there or something, but it'd be interesting in that.
It would definitely maybe like a hex color undertone, possibly like a bluish undertone or a pinkish undertone. Yeah. But the primary being whatever falls in line with because I mean the Vec are interesting colors, right? So it's not like out of the realm of possibilities, right? But yeah, I don't know. I'm really interested in seeing what they do with that. Because like it would be cool to see like a purple elf too. Yeah. You know. Mm-hmm. But
I still say I want to see somebody in Ashes create the Dark Elves with my origin story of they moved into a node that was dwarven by nature in like tier 3 or 4, and they just moved so many elves in there and started doing stuff. It turned it into an elven metropolis. And that's the origin of the Varan Dark Elves. Took over a dwarven mountain home.
Yes, and that, honestly, that would be quite nice. Well, like Tolnor, for example, you know, maybe some elves survived and they lived well, I guess it wouldn't make sense because, I don't know, lore's interesting and it's ever changing and new.
As long as it's not an evil elf like this one. Oh no, we already have our elf on the shelf going around. I love it.
Oh, loudy.
Steven said there are elves who live in the Underrealm, so very, very possible. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I might just end up doing that then.
Yeah, very excited. All right, we will take a break. We're going to go grab our noms and restroom break and our water. We'll be back in, I don't know, what's the right amount of time?
Yeah, real quick, Zara, did you want to do any closing words on yourself and or Nexus Guild?
Thank you guys so much for having me. Once again, it's been a long time, and I'm happy to be here and happy to see new AOC content and future MMO content. As you know, I am the guild leader of Nexus, and if you're interested in an AOC guild to join Vertec and Chibi and I, please hop in the Discord and I can begin your application process. And also, we do have a website that they posted, and we have a Twitter, guild_Nexus. If you want to follow us, we will be tweeting out any new things that we intend to do to bring light to you guys. Once again, thank you guys so much and take care.
Yeah.
And as always, we love you all. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for welcoming us back so quickly and happily. We missed you folks, and we wouldn't be here if not for you. Mm-hmm. And you spent your time here. You'll never get it back. We do not give refunds, so it was worth it.
But we're gonna grab some knobs and we'll see you in about 15-ish minutes, maybe a little longer. Depends on how much we're a little rusty. We're getting back in the swing of everything. yeah, you'll see. It's gonna stay live. You'll see goodbye screen, and then it'll come back and it'll have a timer on it, and that timer will be when I kick it back off. Yep.
Right, see you then.
See you then.